All right, everybody, welcome to our March Faith Formation. It is our last Faith Formation class of the 2022-2023 school year, and we are covering our final Catholic social teaching today, which is care for God's creation. To start off, I just wanted to go through a reading of the first chapter of Genesis. Genesis is obviously, it's the first book of the Bible. It describes how God created the earth. So you have a copy of it in your packets, and we're going to go ahead and just read through it quickly here, just to give you an idea of all of the different things that God made, the order He made them in, and how carefully He made people to fit into this wonderful earth. So, in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." So God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome, and it was so. God called the dome sky, and there was evening and there was morning, the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear," and it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together He called seas, and God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth put forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees of every kind on earth that bear fruit with the seed in it." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed of every kind, and trees of every kind bearing fruit with the seed in it, and God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them be signs, and for seasons, and for days, and for years. And let them be lights in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth." And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. God set them in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky." So God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves, of every kind, with which the waters swarm, and every winged bird of every kind, and God saw that it was good. God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And there was evening and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures of every kind, cattle and creeping things, and wild animals of the earth of every kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals of the earth of every kind, and the cattle of every kind, and everything that creeps upon the ground of every kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created humankind in His image. In the image of God He created them. Male and female He created them. God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." God said, "See, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit you shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. So, we learn a couple of important things from Genesis 1, other than the fact that God made the earth in 6 days and had different things that he accomplished each day. What we learn is that God designed everything on earth to be special and have a purpose and to matter. How do we know this? We know this because God pronounces everything he makes to be good, whether it's a plant or an animal, or something in nature that he made, like lakes or valleys or mountains. God looks at it all and says, oh, this is good. This is good. I like this. So if God has made it, that means that it is perfectly made. It is perfectly designed. Obviously, people he made in his image, but just because plants and animals aren't made in his image, it doesn't mean that they weren't perfectly and wonderfully made also. So God says that all plants and animals are good. He made them on purpose. He made them to be a specific way. So therefore, we should recognize that since they're special to God, they should be special to us. And since God believes that they're good and want to take care of them, we should believe that they're good and want to take care of them. Another thing that we learn is that God gave us all a relationship to each other. So he gave the plants of the earth to feed us, to feed animals. He gave all of the creatures of the earth, all the animals, to be fed by the earth, nourished by the earth, and to live in harmony with people. And God created all of us on the same earth to live together and to have a relationship where we nourish one another, and then in exchange we take care of the earth. So animals, if you've watched The Lion King, animals that eat the grass, they eventually, when they die, they go back into the earth just like people do, and then we give ourselves quite literally back to the earth, and that whole cycle just continues. So we are charged to care for the earth. We're charged to care for the earth because we literally need it to survive. We need plants and animals and water and oxygen and all of the things that God has initially made on earth. We need to take care of those things, preserve those things for future generations. We also need to take care of the earth because God wants us to. The things that are special to God should be special to us. The things that God created and designed, we should appreciate. So, for those reasons, it is really important that we take care of God's creation. Not just for ourselves, but for all the generations that are going to come after us. So, the main activity that we did during the actual class is we took some time to think about things that we use every day that God created. Blessings like having things to eat, having fresh water to drink, having sun to give us, vitamin D and to help plants grow, and to give light so that we can go out and do things and enjoy nature. Air to breathe so we can, stay alive. There's also a lot of activities that we can do and enjoy in our lives because we have nature. Things we wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Hiking, skiing, snowboarding, gardening, boating, fishing, hunting, walks in the park, picnicking, skateboarding, all the different things that we can do outside because there's an outside to do it in. And there's obviously a lot of things that we can also do to be responsible stewards or caretakers of the earth. We can garden, we can recycle, we can compost food, we can walk or ride our bikes instead of driving, we can plant trees and flowers, we can put up bird feeders, We can volunteer with the SPCA animal rescues, and we can support sustainable companies, which are basically companies that make toys, clothing, electronics, furniture, but they do it in a way that is less harmful to the earth. So they choose to create their products in a way that takes care of the earth and is respectful of our natural resources. So we can support companies that have those kinds of priorities that are in line with our values. So for everyone's worksheet, we have this commitment to creation. So the first thing here, it says, God has blessed me by providing everything I need to survive on earth. I promise to thank God regularly for the blessing of. So what's one thing that you need to survive that you're especially grateful for, that you want to thank God for on a regular basis? Also, next, I love doing many things outside in all 4 seasons. None of these things would be available to enjoy without the world and things in nature God created. I'm looking forward to doing blank. So whatever your favorite outdoor activity is, write it in there. And then when I do this next, because for some of you it may be a summer activity that you can't quite do just yet because we live in Buffalo and it's still cold. But I will thank God for this gift and honor him by. So what's something you can do in the course of your favorite activity that can honor God? For example, if your favorite thing to do is go to the park and have a picnic, you can honor God by praying before you eat and making sure that you clean up all your trash and throw it out and recycle it so that you're not leaving anything behind that will harm the earth or the animals that live in it. If you are going to play a sport outside, if you're going to do beach volleyball or skateboard or something, you can publicly pray. You can make the sign of the cross. You can pray to God for safety. You can talk to people that you're doing that with about your faith. So there's a lot of different ways that you can care for creation and strengthen your relationship with God by doing your everyday outdoor activities. And then finally, talking about knowing that taking care of creation is important, and thinking of one thing that you can commit to changing about what you do in your life to take better care of the earth. So let's say you're somebody who, you drink water. Maybe you get a water bottle and stop using disposable water bottles. Even though you can recycle them, maybe you forget. So try getting a water bottle that's refillable, or try to commit to recycling things instead of throwing them in the garbage. Little things that you can do. Finally, for our family projects, which hopefully you grabbed a few out of the bin, we made what we call remembering rocks. So we painted these rocks with colors and designs that reminded us of God's creation, put it in a place that was easily visible, like the garden, the porch, the windowsill, and let it remind us every day of our responsibility to care for God's creation. There were also some seed packets that I hope you grabbed. Our goal is to try to encourage all of our families to plant some flowers, fruits, or vegetables in a little garden this spring and summer, and to try to grow something so that you can give back to God's creation. I hope you have a blessed rest of your school year and summer, and hopefully I will see you all in the fall.